Welcome to Flashback Friday!
Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleen. My name is Penny Arcade, and this is my review of The Boxer from Shantung. It's hard sometimes to look back at things from the past and see them the same way. I was really happy when Celestial Pictures announced they were remastering almost 800 Shaw Brothers films and restoring the original audio. I remember the so-called glory days of dubbed martial arts movies, and frankly, I don't miss them. If you think dubbing doesn't completely alter the tone of a movie, look at this.
Mais c'est quoi cette connerie? En général, les gens t'empruntent du sucre ou alors du ketchup. Et tu veux m'emprunter ma caisse?
Watching Friday in French is exactly like smoking angel dust, from what I've read. These remastered Shaw Brothers DVDs make me really happy. They make me happy not just because of the audio either. The visuals are a million times better. Shaw Brothers deserves a lot of credit for establishing what we could call a signature aesthetic. The fast zoom and pan that they use is one thing, but that's not all of it. The Shaw Brothers movies have a certain kind of look to them, and I really like it. I mean, if you look too long at the background, it's very obviously fake, but so what? It reminds me in some ways of the old Hammer Studios movies. They weren't always visually convincing, but they were visually distinct and looked interesting, like these Shaw Brothers movies. Even the bright red blood. And there's a lot of that in The Boxer from Shantung. This film helped establish Chen Kuan Tai as a dramatic actor, not just as a martial arts person. And in some ways, it's really easy to see how and why it did. During the film's climactic battle, he ends up seriously wounded, and I thought he did a really good job conveying it. I've always wondered what that red Shaw Brothers blood tasted like, because people always had it in their mouth. Now, it didn't hurt that, of course, Chen Kuan Tai and everybody else was being directed by Chang Che, and supposedly a young John Woo, a young man from the countryside who comes to Shanghai to seek his fame and fortune. Falls in with the wrong crowd, and before you know it, he's the new boss of the block. If this sounds familiar, it's probably because this story is the basis for Once Upon a Time in Shanghai. But this earlier film is different in a lot of ways. As I said before, The Boxer from Shantung is much more graphically violent. In addition, the character of Ma Wing-sun isn't morally pure. He smokes, he drinks, he's banging hookers 4 at a time. I'm not just saying that. Watch the movie and you'll see. Besides, it makes it possible to have one of the best subtitles ever. Ma Wing-sun doesn't seem morally conflicted about becoming a gang boss. And while he isn't the meanest extortionist in the world, he still doesn't seem to have any problem collecting protection fees from people that he knows have almost no money. The social and political subplots are different too. Ma Wing-sun has a duel with a Russian wrestler. I bet you can guess the outcome. But let's just say that I really appreciated the way that that scene made its point implicitly and not explicitly. Speaking of which, it was nice to watch a movie where, for a change, the bad guys weren't Japanese. Now, the action choreography of this film is very much of its time, and some people might not find it very interesting or exciting. But I find that in each scene there's at least one shot that makes up for it by being really interesting or exciting. And that's really the best thing I can say about The Boxer from Shantong. Sometimes it's exciting, it's always interesting, and it even manages a few surprises along the way. Now, obviously I want you to watch this movie, and I think it's fairly obvious how I want you to watch it. I want you to watch it by buying a disc or renting it online. In the description, there's a link where you can buy the movie. If you enjoyed this review, please leave me a comment. And if you didn't enjoy the review, well, leave me a comment anyway. If you enjoy the channel, please think about subscribing. That way you'll get to see all the newest videos right away. Yeah, I know. Shaw and Hammer, Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, blah, 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 blah. Leave it out of the comments, all right? If you don't watch the video this far and you leave a comment about that movie, your taint will swell to the size of a volleyball.